To infinity and beyond might not be such a fictional idea for much longer. Humans have always dreamed of going into space, but for such a long time, we've been limited by resources, finances, and in general, the science of space travel. But is it still so? We have an inside scoop on all of the latest tech developments, especially coming out of Silicon Valley and China. We're tapped into this world and plan to reveal the most exciting developments for all of you futurists out there. The next generation spaceship from NASA has been named Orion, and its purpose is to send humans thousands of miles past the moon. The new spacecraft is designed to function in a distant retrograde orbit, or DRO. There have only really been concepts mentioned to use DRO. There was the NASA asteroid redirect mission, which was scrapped in 2017, the Jupiter Icy Moons Orbiter, which was cancelled in 2005. Also, the NASA Lunar Gateway was considered to make use of DRO. This seems to be a year to make concepts a reality. This spacecraft is set to launch later this year from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, and it'll be launched on the most powerful rocket in the world, the Space Launch System. It's not a very creative name, but trust me when I say that this rocket is powerful. It's been under development at NASA since 2011, and the first launch is scheduled to be for the Orion spacecraft. When you consider how far the ship will actually travel, it's kind of mind-boggling. It's about 240,000 miles from Earth to the moon, and this ship will be flying in DRO an extra 40,000 miles past that. All in all, the trip should last about 3 weeks. The information gathered from the first ARTEMIS mission will lead to ARTEMIS 2, which will be the first crewed mission. We haven't sent humans to the moon since 1972. This will be huge. When you really think about it, one of the biggest events in space exploration history that the recent generations have to think about is the incident of the Challenger blowing up, and that was in 1986. Space has kind of been on the back burner for some time now, and Artemis plans to change all of that. By 2024, Artemis 3 should be landing the first man and woman on the moon in years. Artemis is NASA's preparation to take us to Mars. For years, there's been talk and plans of terraforming Mars, and this technology would make it possible for us to travel there without worries of fuels and resources. It looks like there might even be talk of creating a substation on the moon to make it a sort of waypoint of discovery and refueling. Considering the fact that NASA just had to pause ISS spacewalks due to serious spacesuit issues, it raises the question of whether or not we're really ready for this step though. Many people believe that we should make sure to master the technology we already have access to before moving on to bigger, greater things. Overstepping the bounds of what's possible has always been a big concern for anyone that finds out what they're working on. Yet, when you look at history, people thought that they weren't ready to land on the moon. But they did, depending on who you ask. The brightest minds on the planet work on these projects day in and day out, but every day technology still fails on a regular basis. It raises the question of whether we should focus on fixing our planet and mastering our technology, or if we should set our sights farther out in space. This is the farthest NASA has set their sights for manned missions, and with SpaceX making huge bounds of their own, it almost seems like the two organizations are in a race to find a way to sustain life off of our planet. NASA believes that the base camp on the moon is what's necessary for missions to be made to Mars. They state that this could be their legacy of greatness, hope, limitless opportunity, and growth to future generations. I completely agree. But for the time being, nothing is certain. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have concrete proof that their research is headed in the right direction and sustainable. If you're a futurist like us, support our channel by hitting the like button and subscribe to see more of our inside stories. Technology is improving at an exponential rate, so continue looking forward into the future because it'll be here faster than you think. Okay, onwards and upwards.